This is episode 2 of season 7 of the Northstars Show, show number 101. I'm your host, Bruce Krentz. What's under the coat today, boys? Fresh off the plane. I was down in Winnipeg for work. I got right out of work, right on the plane here, and straight to the rink. Paul's got my luggage in his car. Paul, hardest working guy in Thompson. Not the best chauffeur. You guys ever driven around with him? It's a wild ride. So underneath the coat, I got some of my work clothes on. I'm going to throw that on right away. Coming up, we're going to talk to Coach James Buchanan. We've got a 2-on-1 coming up as well, so lots of great stuff happening here. Coach talks a little bit about the Winnipeg Bruins, who you guys are going to see in just a couple of days. Pretty interesting stuff. I got a whole host of people here. It's preseason. That's why we don't have the minor hockey segment happening. We were going to do that, but guest bailed on us. Preseason, we're still getting the hang of things, and I'm still getting the hang of everybody's names. So you guys got to do your own names, but tell us, how was your first road trip of the weekend? You guys were down for a showcase in Portage, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good, but like some of the guys, they don't listen, man. They're bad. Like Johnny, he's really bad. Like,
tell us, bad as in not listening to the coach, or missing curfew, wheeling girls down south. What was going on?
Yeah, he's been sneaking out of the hotel, going for girls. He's been meeting up with girls around like after curfew too.
Okay, well, we got Coach Buchanan coming up. We'll have a little chat with him about that. Give us your name. Tell us about game number 1 down in Portage.
My name is Frederick Lamar.
Number?
13.
Very good. We'll watch for you.
Yeah. And, you know, the first game, we battled hard through 1 and 2 periods, you know. Dump and chase, boys. Boys were battling hard, but, you know, we were all gassed out. The tank was empty. Third period came. We let in 4 goals. Lost 7-2. It was a tough loss for the boys.
Ouch. Why do you think you ran out of gas? Was it the road trip, not used to the bus, or not used to the pace with a team like that?
You know, it's just, yeah, not the pace. You know, boys weren't used to working together. Yeah, it's got to work hard next time, you know.
We'll get there. That's why we do the preseason games. That's why we do the showcase, right? Your name is not Machigoganap, I don't think. Not sure what's up with that. Looks more like Keaston. What number you wearing this year?
Number 21.
Keaston Saunders. How did game number 2 go?
We did pretty good. We just let in 2 goals and came back in the third.
Who'd you play against?
Parkland.
Parkland. And how do you think you played? Not too bad? Adjusting to the AAA pace and the speed of the game?
Not too bad, just getting used to it.
Right on. You guys played one more game down there. Who wants to talk about that one?
I do.
Johnny Rockets. Slide in here. Who'd we play?
We played Interlake, and we lost 3-2.
And how'd the game go? Were you up, down? Did they come back on you at the end, or were you scrambling to keep up with those guys?
Oh, we were down 3-0. We came back in the third, 2-1. Couldn't get that last goal.
Couldn't do her. Who are the goal scorers for the Northstars? Do you remember?
Sheldon Howard and me.
There you go. That's what just happened here. I got a bunch more of the guys. We're going to get everybody else on the show coming up. So stay tuned for my interview with Coach James Buchanan right here on the Northstars Show. Joining me this week is Coach James Buchanan. Last week, not feeling well. You're on the mend, 100% now, Coach?
Well, we're getting close. I think I was pretty sick last week there, but getting through it now. But I still don't have too much of a voice after going on the road there last week. But
yelling and screaming at the boys a little bit. Coach Janai, he did a good job with us last time around. We were in good hands. You guys were down for a showcase, 3 games on the weekend. What did you think? How'd the guys look down there?
Well, I'm pretty pleased with the way we performed, actually. Coming in up against teams who've been playing for a couple of weeks already. You know, they played 3 and 4 games, and we're just starting to get our feet wet, but still really excited to have the opportunity to play some exhibition. And, you know, I think the team gelled really well together on the road there. Lots of good things. We got good puck movement, good defensive play, and I think they're supporting one another quite well, so it's good to see early on in the year.
For sure. Getting a tie was nice. A win would have been even better. A tie and 2 losses when you were on the road. But how does it feel for you as a coach to get some preseason games in? Because lots of times what happened this weekend is your first weekend of the year, right?
Well, that's just it. We're clicking in the games. You know, we had an opportunity to tie, if not win, 2 of the 3 for sure. Even the first game, you know, we were in it down 3-1 after 1. So, you know, we had a little bit of a letdown in that third period. But for the rest of the weekend, we showed a little bit of grit, you know, battling right to the bitter end, scoring late goals, scoring a couple empty net goals. So, you know, that's really good to see them having the grit to battle right late in games so early in the season.
To sort of on top of that, maybe just in addition to that grit, were there any guys that stood out, or was there anything the team was doing that that you were happy to see and looking forward to seeing more?
Well, I got to mention both goaltenders. They made some fantastic stops, and so that was really good to see and gives us some confidence having those backstops there right away. On the defensive end, really, a lot of the guys were just moving the puck really well, getting to that open space. I asked Jordan Foe to take a big slap shot late in the third game. He did it, and we ended up getting a goal out of it, banging in the rebound. So we've seen some good things out of him for a 15-year-old. Very pleased with his play. Up front, leading the charge offensively, Reid, he was a standout all weekend for us. Every time he's on the ice, he's making something happen there. It's nice to see a rookie coming in, even he's 17 years old, but someone fresh to the league and able to make a statement quite quickly is good. Otherwise, you know, Albert and Jerome and Henry, their line was pretty solid throughout as well. So there's lots of good things looking forward to this year.
It is great. I mean, nice to have a little bit more support on the back end. Not wanting to say anything ill about last year, but it's nice to have a little bit of that. We're heading to Winnipeg and to Kenora this weekend, so what are you looking for out of the guys? More of the same?
Well, I hope we get out to a strong start against the Winnipeg Bruins. They've had a strong preseason, you know, coming out on top of the win column in quite a few of their games, you know, against the Wild and the Thrashers. So they're going to looking pretty tough coming out of preseason, but we're always up for the challenge, and I find our team likes to match up against those Winnipeg teams. You know, we like to see that put that. Yeah, there's a reason to drive out there. So we always seem to play well when we face up against Winnipeg, and then going into Kenora, that's always a bit of a rivalry scenario for us. So getting into that right away in the year is going to add some excitement and get that intensity flowing right away.
Sure. Last one, just primer for some of the folks that don't know. The Winnipeg Bruins isn't a name that we've heard much ever before. So what's the scoop there? A, just where did they come from? And B, do you think that's going to water things down in Winnipeg a little bit, even out the league?
Well, it's going to give more guys coming out of Winnipeg an opportunity at least to play locally. You know, for years there have been players coming out of Winnipeg and sneaking into Central Plains and Interlake and places like that. But so those players will be playing more locally in Winnipeg, and I think some of those other teams outside of the perimeter that are going to lose a little bit of their depth. But the Bruins are coming out of St. Vital this year, so that'll be kind of their primary draw in the south of Winnipeg. However, the Wild and the Thrashers, players from those areas who played for those teams last year get to stay home until they're done their eligibility. So you're going to see the pool. I think Winnipeg's always going to be strong any way you look at it. But we're ready to rise to the challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to you guys getting a couple big wins this weekend and a chance to get your feet wet again and showing the Bruins what the North is all about. Thanks, Coach, for joining us.
Absolutely.
Hey, look what we found for the 2-on-1 segment. It's Michell Reid right here from Flin Flon, Manitoba. We found a goal scorer is what we found. Had the little showcase weekend. Things went your way, I'd have to say. How'd it feel?
I felt pretty good. You know, I got the first one off my back, second period of the first game, and then after that I got a lucky one later that game. Then after that I just seemed to keep on scoring, so it was good for me and my team too.
Things came pretty easy. We talked to Coach Buchanan, and he said it wasn't, you didn't have one go-to move, couple of blasts, couple in tight, so show all your tricks, or are you saving some stuff up for the regular season?
I'm saving some stuff for the regular season.
We're looking forward to a lot more. Jerome, just before we hit him with the 2-on-1, Jerome Linklater's here with us as well. Jerome, how'd the weekend go for you?
It was good. It was fun too.
Played on a line with the NCN crew again, or did the coaches shake it up?
No, it was me and Albert and Henry, and sometimes Rambo.
Pretty good weekend for you. This segment's called 2-on-1, so it's the two of us teaming up on the new guy, picking on him a little bit, asking him some questions. I'm going to start this one off. I think, what'd you have for breakfast today?
I usually don't eat breakfast, actually. My first meal comes around 1 o'clock.
I don't love that. We're going to have to talk to Coach and our nutritionist about that. Jerome, what you got?
Who's your favorite hockey player?
Phil Kessel.
Really? Yeah, This interview is not going well. If you could have dinner with one NHL player, who would it be? Can't be Kessel.
Probably, does Paul Bissonnette count?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Nasty.
yeah, I'd take him out for some dinner, you know, some steak.
How much fun would that be? Do you ever listen to Spit and Chicklets podcast?
No.
Ever listen to podcasts?
Not often. I've seen it, but I never clicked on it before.
Good.
Never paid
They've had Biz Nasty on 5 or 6 times. He's excellent. You might want to check it out.
What is your favorite restaurant in Flin Flon?
Probably Subway or Chicken Chef. I eat a lot of Subway in the summer.
Nice. If you're not playing hockey, what's your favorite thing to do?
Usually like golfing or just hanging out with a couple of my buds back in Flin Flon that aren't here this year. So.
Very good. Who's that? Throw one of them out. Shout out on the Northstars Show.
Blake Lahonen, Evan Hooper, Jaden Rowe, you know, the boys.
That's awesome. The show plays in Flin Flon, so hopefully we catch them, drive up our YouTube views
Also
as well.
Boys from Yellowhead that are from Flin Flon, Tanner Duckwitch and Jeremy Duckwitch. Couple great fellows there.
Couple of ducks. What else you got, Jared?
What do you like using your stick, white or black tape?
Never black tape, always white tape. It's in my mind. I gotta have it taped the right way too.
Ooh. Heel to toe or toe to heel?
Heel to toe.
Yeah, you got to go heel to toe.
Also always left stuff on before right stuff.
That's getting deep in the weeds in the superstitions. Eddie Wood, one of my favorite players, Oxford House's favorite son, tapes from toe to heel, and he's one of the best players I've ever played with, so it might be worth a shot. Yeah. Last one, Jerome.
When you score on home opener, how's your celly going to be?
I'm going to take my glove off, put it on the knob of my stick, and go up to the nearest window with all the girls and just wipe it like this, like I'm cleaning the window.
Can't wait to see that. Can't wait for you to get a goal in the home opener. Michell, Reid, Jerome, Linklater. That's 2-on-1 right here on the Northstars Show. Look at this guy right here. Dave Dawson found my wallet when I dropped it in the lobby or in the parking lot the other day. Appreciate that. Yeah. I never gave him a reward other than, here's your reward. You're on the Northstars Show. Episode 2, Season 7. How great is that? I want to thank all of our guests today. The guys in the opening, we had a whole host of them. Henry Much and who else did we have? Johnny Rockets, Keaston Saunders, and a whole bunch of other guys. So thanks to them for telling us what just happened. Pretty good result down at the showcase last weekend. A tie and 2 losses, but according to those guys and according to the coaches, they did pretty well. Coach James Buchanan talked to us a little bit about the Winnipeg Bruins, and again, he's pretty impressed with how things are going. Has high hopes for this coming weekend when they play down in Winnipeg, 1 game against the Bruins, and then out to Kenora for a couple games as well. A nice 2-on-1 segment too with Michell Reid, new goal scorer, the big sniper this past weekend out of Flin Flon. Nice to find him. And Jerome Linklater too, NCN's finest. Join us next time on the Northstars Show. Follow us on Twitter, check for us on YouTube, and of course, catch us on Shaw TV. Thanks for watching, folks. This is the Northstars Show.